Logan Mitchell had buried his past. The deadly operative, known only as Phantom, was a ghost story whispered in the darkest corners of the intelligence world. For years, he had traded war zones for bedtime stories, bloodshed for the laughter of his son, Mason. He had built a new life, one of peace, away from the horrors that had once defined him. Until two men in uniform shattered that illusion. A casual act of brutality against a 7-year-old boy. A dismissive smirk from men who thought their badges made them untouchable. "You're nobody," they told Logan. They couldn't have been more wrong. Now, the Phantom walks again, methodical, merciless, unseen. And as a hidden network of corrupt officials scrambles to respond, they are about to learn a terrible truth. You don't truly understand violence until you provoke someone who mastered it and chose to walk away. Until you force him to return. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across Oak Ridge Heights, a quiet suburban neighborhood where manicured lawns and white picket fences created the illusion of perfect safety. Logan pulled his black SUV into the driveway of his modest 2-story home, loosening his tie as he checked his watch. 5:30 p.m., just in time for dinner with Mason. For 3 years, Logan had built something real. His high-end security firm, Apex Solutions, provided purpose, but nothing compared to the joy of raising his son. At 43, the lines around his eyes had deepened, his once jet-black hair now streaked with silver, but his body remained a fortress, powerful, conditioned. Old habits die hard, and the Phantom had always been prepared. He stepped inside, greeted by Mrs. Calloway, their elderly neighbor who watched Mason after school. "Right on time, Mr. Mitchell," she said warmly, gathering her knitting. "Mason's outside playing with his new soccer ball. Such a good boy. Thanks for watching him," Logan said, placing a $20 bill on the counter despite her protests. "Did he finish his homework? Every bit of it. Even the extra math problems. Sharp as a tack, that one. Just like his mother." A shadow flickered across Logan's face at the mention of Mason's mother, but he masked it quickly. "I appreciate it, Mrs. Calloway. See you tomorrow." As she left, Logan changed into jeans and a navy Henley, eager for their evening ritual. But when he glanced out the kitchen window, his heart stopped. Mason wasn't in the backyard. Then a scream. Logan was through the front door before his mind fully registered what was happening. Years of training had honed his instincts to move before thought. Mason lay face down on the asphalt, a police officer's knee pressing into his small back. His blue soccer ball rolled away, forgotten. A crowd of neighbors had gathered, their faces masks of shock and outrage. "Stay down, kid," barked the officer, a stocky man with a buzz cut and mirrored sunglasses. The name tag read O'Connell. Logan's voice sliced through the air like a blade. "Get your hands off my son." O'Connell looked up but didn't remove his knee. "This your kid? Maybe teach him not to run at police vehicles." Another officer emerged from the cruiser, taller, older, with cold eyes and a detective's badge. "Stand back, sir," he said, his hand resting casually on his holstered weapon. "We've got this under control." Logan stepped forward, his hands visible, but his posture a clear warning to anyone who knew how to read it. "My 7-year-old son was retrieving his ball, and you slammed him to the ground. Remove your knee from his back." Now, the detective, Reynolds, according to his badge, stepped between them. "Your boy ran toward a police vehicle in a suspicious manner." Officer O'Connell followed protocol. Protocol? For a child retrieving a toy. Logan's voice was dangerously calm. Mason sobbed. "Daddy, it hurts." Something dark flickered in Logan's eyes. A glimpse of the man he had once been. The Phantom. The operative who moved through war zones like a shadow, leaving only bodies in his wake. "Last warning," Logan said, his voice dropping to a register that made several onlookers step back instinctively. "Release my son." Perhaps sensing the shift, O'Connell finally removed his knee and pulled Mason roughly to his feet. The boy immediately broke free and ran to Logan, burying his face in his father's leg. Logan knelt, keeping his eyes locked on the officers. "You okay, buddy?" Mason clutched his ribs, nodding through tears. "My side hurts, Daddy." Logan gently lifted his son's shirt. Angry red marks marred his small torso, already deepening into bruises. A slow, deadly clarity settled in Logan's mind. Name and badge number, he demanded, rising to his full height. Reynolds smirked. Listen, buddy, we're just doing our job. Maybe teach your kids some respect for law enforcement. Respect is earned, Logan replied evenly. Name and badge number. Now, Reynolds stepped closer. Detective Ryan Reynolds, badge 8734. This is Officer Sean O'Connell, badge 6219. He smirked. And you? You're nobody. Remember that. O'Connell sneered. Maybe teach your boy to stay away from police cars. For his safety. Logan's eyes narrowed slightly. The only warning before the Phantom eliminated a target. You just made the biggest mistake of your life, Logan said, his voice so quiet only the officers could hear. That's a promise. Something in his tone made O'Connell's smirk falter, but Reynolds remained unimpressed. Sounds like a threat. Logan said nothing, simply stared at them with cold, calculating eyes. That's what I thought, Reynolds muttered, clapping O'Connell on the shoulder. Let's roll. As they returned to their cruiser, neither noticed the woman across the street. Phone held steady, recording every second. Nor did they spot the traffic camera capturing everything. Logan lifted Mason into his arms. His son's sniffles shattered his heart. Let's get you inside, buddy. Why do they hurt me, Daddy? Mason asked, his innocence making the question all the more devastating. Logan had no easy answer. Sometimes people with power make bad choices, he said carefully. But I promise you this, they won't hurt you again. As Logan carried his son inside, he didn't see the dark sedan parked 2 blocks away. Inside, a figure lowered high-powered binoculars, recognition flashing across his scarred face. Mitchell, he whispered, reaching for a secure phone. The Phantom is still alive. Within hours, the police body cam footage would be intercepted, wiped clean in a sophisticated hack that left no trace. The wheels were already in motion. A test had been conducted, and the results were interesting. They had no idea what they had just awakened.